Welcome, everybody. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. We're in the Psychology of Eating podcast, and I'm with Michelle today. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you, Marc.
And we were just chit-chatting. You're in Australia.
That's correct.
Which part?
Sydney. So 30 minutes out of Sydney.
I've never been to Australia. It is so on my bucket list. And I've heard Sydney's an amazing city.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. I'm so blessed to be living here.
Yay. Well, you tell me, if you could wave your magic wand and get whatever you wanted with food, with body, what would that be for you?
For me, it would be freedom around food, because at the moment I'm a long-term sufferer of IBS. So I have a lot of anxiety around food, because every time I eat it, there's always an issue. I'm always bloated or something happens in my digestion. I just don't digest the food. I'd love to digest the food easily. I'd love to be able to lose weight finally. I have a problem with losing weight. I'm always constantly eating. So I'd love to be able to just eat when I need to, not all the time, just reaching out for food. It's just that freedom. Freedom around food and not having that anxiety that I have around food.
So there's the anxiety straight up around irritable bowel syndrome, and
Yep.
Is food going to upset me or not?
Mm-hmm.
And there's also connected, but sort of separate, but still connected somehow, is, wanting to lose weight. And
Mm-hmm.
How much weight would you like to lose?
I want to lose 10 kilos. I've put on a bit over COVID, but all up, I'd like to lose 10 kilos and get back to pre-pregnancy weight. But I'm overweight, so I'd like to lose it.
When was the last time you would have been at your ideal weight?
Before my son, so that's 13 years ago.
13 years ago. How old
And
are
it's
you?
just, I'm 45, and the weight just keeps creeping up and creeping up. So I'm at my heaviest now than I have before. So.
And when were you diagnosed with having IBS?
I've had that for a while now. I've always been gluten-free and dairy-free, like intolerance, both to both. As for IBS, probably in the last, maybe 10 years or so that I got the.
Who diagnosed you for that?
That was a gastro doctor. Because I had SIBO as well, and I've also had I think it's called High pylori as well. So I just now have IBS.
And was there any kind of treatment protocol recommended for you?
Yeah, I tried the low FODMAP diet, but because of restricting food for so long, I've now got intolerances to a lot more things now. So I can't have garlic, I can't have onion, can't have apples, and the list keeps growing. So, and I think that's where the anxiety comes, because I keep thinking, oh, will this upset my stomach?
So do you notice patterns when you eat in terms of, I know that this food will almost always upset my digestive system, or is it haphazard? So what have you seen?
If I know something, if I eat a bit of gluten, I know that that's going to upset my stomach. So if I eat it, I know that I'm going to have some problems. So I try to avoid gluten at all costs. Garlic and onion, I avoid at all costs. If it's hidden in something, then I'll have it, and then I might have some reaction and then go, but it didn't say garlic or onion. And then I'll go back to the packet and I'll go, oh, okay, it did too. But so I try to eat at a calm, kind of rested, peaceful state as well. But I think I just have this anxiety around before I eat. So that's coming into play. So I'm not kind of really maybe in that state enough.
So before you were diagnosed with IBS, Did you have anxiety before you ate?
Not really. I don't think so. I don't think so. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I was a child, because my dad was a Jehovah's Witness, so we used to have to do a prayer before meals and stuff. And I think from childhood, he would always give me into trouble for not eating everything on my plate. So I'm not sure if it stems from him telling me that you'll get in trouble if you don't eat everything. And that could have also stemmed, could be the root cause of the anxiety around food as well.
Yes. So if a food is going to give you some kind of upset, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being like the worst possible pain, on average, what would be the discomfort level of food upsetting you?
Between 8 and 9.
Wow. So
yeah. So normally I have a lot of discomfort in the top of my stomach. That's where it starts, and then it just sits there. If I eat the wrong foods, it's like over 11.
Mm-hmm. And how long does it take for your body to unwind that and to get back to a place of relative comfort?
A couple of days, if anything. If it's really uncomfortable, if I've had garlic or onion, it can take up to a week before I start feeling better. Or if I've had gluten or something that's really upset my stomach, it can take a whole week before I actually start feeling better or any calmness in the gut.
Do you have any reactions or sensitivities to odors, perfumes, smells?
I don't think so. I've never really kind of tested it out. I use essential oils at home, so I don't normally have any reaction to those. I try to avoid perfumes and things like that.
So it's just the foods that can really set you off.
Yeah.
As opposed to anything else. You're not sensitive to loud sounds or to...
No.
Yeah. Okay. That's actually good. So in terms of weight, why do you think you have trouble getting to the weight you want to be at?
Why? I know it's excess baggage and stuff that I need to let go of. And I meditate twice a day at the moment. And I've been doing a meditation teacher training course. And through that, there's a bit of coaching and working through some of the issues and stuff. So that I know there's, and I've been dropping a lot of that, but it's still holding on. And it's just, that's the bit, I don't know. I'm ready to let go of the weight. It no longer serves me and all that, but it just doesn't seem to want to budge. Instead, it goes up instead of down.
Do you think that you overeat?
Potentially, yes, because I'm always hungry. So I'm always like snacking.
Typically, when's the first time of day that you eat?
First time of day, well, it'd be breakfast. So I'll have a coffee first thing in the morning. Then I'd have something for breakfast. So
coffee first thing in the morning at about what time?
Normally about 6.
6. And then what might you have for breakfast?
Normally it's either a smoothie or scrambled eggs on some toast with a little bit of feta. That's lactose-free feta as well. That's generally what I've been having lately because I've been working from home, so it's easier.
Generally, and what time is your breakfast?
Normally about 8.
8 a.m. Okay, so a couple hours after your coffee, you're eating breakfast. And then when's the next time you eat?
Normally after that, I'm starting to feel hungry again. So I'll either nibble on some berries or maybe make a smoothie or have a piece of toast. Depending on what it is quick and easy, or nibble on some crackers. This is where I start getting snacky as well.
What time would that be?
Around about 10. So it's like every 2 hours I need to eat.
Okay. So you'll start snacking at 10 and the next time you'll eat is?
Around lunchtime. So around about 12. And sometimes I'm hungry by about 11:30. I'm just like going, okay, lunchtime early.
So what might you have at lunch?
Generally, I'll have either a salad with some protein like tuna or something, or I might have a toasted sandwich if I'm really busy. But generally it's a salad or some sort of veggie and protein type thing.
And then the next time you eat will be?
So that's when I get hungry in the afternoon. So especially if it's I start getting hungry and that's where I start nibbling. So I look in the cupboards and I'm like, okay, I've got some bliss balls. And so I just start nibbling on whatever I could find.
What time would that be after lunch?
Oh gosh, soon after, because then I'm just starting to, it's like the lunch didn't quite fill me up or something. So then I'm just constantly hungry.
How much fat do you think you eat a day?
Oh, enough. I eat avocados and olive oil and, well, the feta as well. And then tuna I'd have. I use all the good oils and stuff. So I eat fairly healthy.
And when is the last time of day that you'll eat?
Dinner time. I don't normally have dessert or anything like that. So the last time I eat will be between 5 and 6. And then after that, I won't eat anything after that. Sometimes I might get a little bit peckish, but normally that's all.
Would you consider yourself a fast eater, a slow eater, a moderate eater?
No, fast. I've been trying to work on the slowing down when I remember, but I am a fast eater.
Have you had been tested for diabetes or pre-diabetes to your knowledge?
I have in the past, but that's been fine. So,
okay. And have you had your thyroid checked?
Yep, all been fine. Oh, well, last year. Yep, and all was fine.
Okay. Very interesting. So do you notice, I'm going to jump back for a second to your IBS. Do you notice that there are days or weeks where your body just feels, your digestion feels really fine and there's no issues and no problems?
Yeah, because I'm meditating twice a day, sometimes if I've had weeks where I've missed, say, one or I've shortened one or something like that, I notice my digestion is not as great as well. So I need to always make sure that the meditation is a non-negotiable because that actually helps with the calming down the gut. There is times where my belly is just feeling flat and I don't have any problems at all. And it feels amazing. That's where I want to be every day. Yes.
So other than what goes on with your body, other than health issues or weight issues, what causes you, would you say, the most worry or the most anxiety in your life?
I mean, it's the continual weight gain and stuff, but I think it's probably because I've got estrogen dominance as well. So I think in the back of my mind, I always think of the issues that can come with that. I think I'm just constantly always worrying about all that sort of stuff, like, trying to balance my hormones, trying to balance my adrenals by reducing stress and stuff, because the stress impacts the estrogen and the stress impacts your IBS. And so I do everything I can to reduce the stress in my life. And it's not very stressful. Like my job, I'm working from home because of COVID. And so I have that ability to tailor my day and make sure I'm meditating and taking regular breaks. So, I mean, there is a lot on and stuff like that, but it's manageable. So that's not stressful. My personal life is not stressful or anything like that. It's just this food and just the health stuff.
Yes. How was your weight when you were in your teens?
Oh, I was, I was skinny, very skinny, lanky and skinny. And then I stopped growing. So from there, that's when I just became short.
And how about in your 20s? How was your weight?
20s was fine. It was fine. It was until I got into my 30s and I had my son. And then that's when it just started going downhill.
Yes. So,
and then I am now in my 40s and mid 40s now. And I think as soon as you turn 40, things just go, whew.
So are you being treated with any medical strategies or drugs or supplements for estrogen dominance?
I did. They gave me progesterone. A functional medicine doctor gave me progesterone, but I stopped taking it because when I saw my GP, she said that can actually have a negative effect. So I'm just trying to do some more natural remedies with essential oils and just using it's another supplementation. I can never remember the name of it, which is like a detoxification. for the breasts and stuff. So just trying to do that first, and then I might have to go back to the doctor again and just get the testing done again.
Yeah, because, honestly, for the weight, I would definitely be interested. See, here's the thing. You can treat estrogen dominance with certain prescription drugs that aren't necessarily so bad at all. There are certain over-the-counter supplements, calcium D-glucarate. And
that's the one I'm using.
that's the one you're using, yeah. So that's very good for removing, just extra estrogens out of the body. How long have you been taking that?
I couldn't get it for a while, so I've only been starting to take it again for about 2 months. And I'm already noticing a difference because I'm not, the PMS symptoms aren't as bad as they normally are as well this month, which is great. So that's a good sign.
Nice. I would love for you in an ideal universe to see a good either functional medicine doctor or somebody that will say that they work with bioidentical hormones and really understand the full picture. Because, progesterone can interfere, but it really depends on, what's happening with your estrogen, what's your progesterone levels, what's your testosterone levels. That can also affect overall hormone health for you. It's really, that's just a great place if you can find a practitioner that you can trust, that has experience and that knows their stuff. It can be very helpful. So
I was seeing one last year. He was really good.
But you haven't followed up with him?
No, I haven't. I was just trying to treat myself naturally, but obviously it's not working. So.
Yeah, I would, if you can get the help and if you can afford to get the help, I would say, why not? Really, 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 really. I'm all for getting really good advice and really good help. So what would you say? I asked you the question, other than health and weight, what things caused you the most anxiety, and you pretty much didn't have anything outside of, health concerns, weight concerns. I just want to circle back and make sure that we didn't miss anything for you there.
Maybe just anxious around, I work full time, but I also want to do my own side venture type stuff, start my own podcast and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's just anxious around the knowing and the fear of the unknown, maybe, and doubt and stuff sometimes slips in. But that potentially is. But I manage that through the meditation and also journaling and that. So that helps. But
yes.
That's probably it.
But it's still not that big of a deal for you. No. Okay. Well, good for you. Good for you. So let me share a few thoughts with you about the digestive system that I think we, meaning the collective we don't talk about this enough. That, and I've known what I'm about to tell you. I've known this for about 35 years because I used to read about it in medical textbooks, but I didn't really get it until many, many years later, that the digestive system is unbelievably responsive, or it can be unbelievably responsive to our inner emotions. And for some of us, we fall into that category. For some of us, for whatever reason, some people have a more sensitive heart, and some people have more sensitive joints, or more sensitive skin, or they're more sensitive to light, or they're more sensitive to odors, or to taste, or to whatever. And there's a goodly amount of people who their digestive system is just sensitive, and it will pick up on whatever we're feeling. Mm-hmm. It will pick up on whatever we're eating. Mm-hmm. And it will absorb that and take it on and express symptom. Gotcha. And I'm going to guess that you're one of those people.
Yeah, I think so.
It's sort of definitionally irritable bowel syndrome. Mm-hmm. People will have an extremely sensitive bowel. Mm-hmm. You know, my digestion is really sensitive. You give it some gluten and it's not happy. Mm-hmm. You give it onions, you give it garlic, it's just not happy. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes there's technically nothing wrong with us. Mm-hmm. And it's just that, okay, here's this next iteration of your body. Here's this phase of your life. Here's what your body's doing. Here's how it's talking to you. Mm-hmm. So what I really like is that you're responding to your body in kind. You are trying to be sensitive to its sensitivity. You're trying to, right? You're trying to listen to it. You're trying to heal yourself with strategies that you feel good about. Mm-hmm. You know, you mentioned using essential oils. I mean, that could be great. So I love that you're doing that. And maybe this applies to you, maybe it doesn't. But there's a place where if I'm trying to fix myself, if I was in your shoes, and I have a sensitive digestion, it's not sensitive in the same way yours is, but over the years, it gets more and more sensitive. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but it's giving us feedback. So your digestive system is ongoingly giving you feedback. You've discovered that meditation, i.e. creating a relaxation response in your body, works for you. So your digestion is teaching you. It's teaching you how to be a better version of you. And a better version of you has to do something that helps relax you very deliberately in order to help you regulate your digestion. So, and again, forgive me if I'm telling you things that you already know. Part of this is for the benefit of people listening in. And part of it is, you know, just to reinforce this, that when our digestive system is under stress, it literally goes into some degree of digestive shutdown. Mm-hmm. So any kind of stress, anxiety, fear, upset, anger, self-attack, self-judgment will all result in stress in the body, which will impact our weakest link, in your case, your digestive system. Digestive system is just not designed to function when it's under stress. So it sounds like part of your path, your personal path, your spiritual path, is learning what your digestion has to teach you.
Yep.
And instead of trying to fix it as if it's broken, how do you let it be a great teacher for you so that, you're learning how to take care of your digestion better, but there's also places where you're learning how to take care of you better.
Totally. I like that.
So, meditation is great for your digestive system, but it's also probably good for you.
Definitely.
And paying attention to the foods that go into my body, that's good for my digestion, but it's just also a good practice to pay attention to the things I'm taking in. Whether it's food, whether it's videos, movies, music. So I'm just wondering for you, are there other places in life, and there might not be, other places in life where you feel it's important for you to really notice what you're taking in? Persons, places, thoughts, feelings, beliefs, energies from other people, beliefs from other people.
Probably. I do take on other people's energy and stuff. And I can be a bit high emotional. I mean, I think because I have been working on myself lately, I am dealing with some stuff. So I think there's some emotional residue hanging around that is just slowly passing through. But I do, yeah.
So would you say then, and maybe you just said this, that you're the kind of person that can take on other people's energies or emotions?
Yeah, I think so. I think I might because I have that, I'm very empathetic towards the way they're feeling sort of thing. So I might, like if a friend of mine's feeling a bit distressed at the moment, her father's passing away. So I'll always be thinking about her. So I've got that kind of anxious thought that making sure she's okay type thing. So that's probably a little bit of anxiousness as well, because I'm always thinking of others as well.
Mm-hmm. Which is a beautiful thing. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You care about the people that you care about and you worry about them because you're concerned and that's so sweet. And, I don't know for you how much over the edge you go or not with that. Meaning, there could be a place where I take too much on and yes, I love my friend who I'm concerned about, but I also know that the best way I can serve my friend that I'm concerned about is to not worry so much, but support them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if I'm worried and they're worried, then it's a bunch of people worrying.
Yeah, exactly.
So is there anything else that you're able to do for yourself when you are having a digestive flare-up and it could take days for your body to re-regulate itself? Is there anything else that you notice works for you?
I like the idea of better learning, seeing it as a bit of a teacher and learning from what it's trying to tell me and stuff. I really like that approach because that's something I can definitely bring that into practice. I mean, the meditation helps, and breathing practices, I've been doing that. So doing everything I can just to slow down the nervous system, because that's the brain and the gut talking to each other. So, so to try and do as much as I can in that regards. I can't think of anything else.
When do you feel most relaxed?
Most relaxed? When I'm meditating.
When else?
When I'm relaxing on the couch with my husband watching TV. Because I'm not having to think of anything. I'm just zoned out watching TV.
So when you let go of thoughts, your body tends to relax.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think an interesting practice, if you're not doing it already, and this is around the worry that occurs if you're going to eat something and not be sure if you're going to react to it, is to, before you eat, do a little bit of deep breathing.
Yep.
And literally it could be a minute. It could be 30 seconds, really, of just, 5 to 10 long, slow, deep breaths, just to send your body the signal that, okay, body, you're relaxed. Because the breathing pattern of relaxation is regular, rhythmic, and deep. The breathing pattern of a stress response is shallow, arrhythmic, and infrequent. So you can literally put your body into a stress response if you breathe like a stressed person breathes, which is breathing very shallow, breathing infrequently, and in an arrhythmic kind of way. Likewise, you can put yourself in a relaxation response if you just, before you approach a meal, and train. It's really training your body to feel safer with food.
Yep.
Because I think there's also a part of you, obviously for good reason, doesn't feel safe around food.
Yep. I think that's exactly right.
So food can literally cause me extreme pain, like a 10 out of 10 or an 11 out of 10. So foods that you're sensitive to can cause you extreme pain. So by the way, it makes perfect sense that you would be afraid of food and you would brace before you eat it.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, and this might not be, this might not apply to you, but if a person's trying to lose weight, what's the thing that we think we have to control? Food and food amount. So food is kind of the thing that we often think, well, that's making me fat. Mm-hmm. So in a strange way, food is the enemy. Mm-hmm. So any signal that you can give your body that food is safe lets your body know that it can relax. Mm-hmm. Because right now, a lot of the activity that's impacting you is just happening up here.
Yeah, exactly.
I also highly recommend doing even before every snack, before every meal, before every snack, just even if it's 2 long, slow, deep breaths.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. And that's something that I started doing and then I stopped. It's just remembering it. I think I just got to put a timer or a reminder on my phone. One thing I've also done is say to myself before I eat is, I love my food loves me.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, so I've tried to do that when I remember, or if I'm eating something that I know potentially might give me some discomfort. So I'll say that to myself a few times, take some deep breaths.
Mm-hmm. And so remind me again when I asked you if you're a fast eater, moderate eater, slow eater.
I'm a fast eater if I'm not in that awareness state. If I don't do those deep breaths before I eat, or say that I love my food loves me, then I will just eat fast. But if I'm a bit more mindful and a bit more grounded before I eat, then it'd be more of a moderate type eater.
Mm-hmm. Here's a question that I don't have an answer to in my mind, but I've been thinking about it. Earlier on, I was asking you about your diet and what you eat. And you basically told me that you can pretty much get hungry every several hours.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's not a bad thing necessarily at all. People are different, and people metabolize differently. People do food differently. We do life differently. And for many people, eating a number of small meals per day is actually useful. Mm-hmm. Yep. It just suits their body and it suits their lifestyle. Mm-hmm. What catches my attention is that you can be very hungry in a few hours. Mm-hmm. So that can be a couple of things. Mm-hmm. It could be blood sugar and insulin regulation, but you have been tested, so that might not be a factor for you. It can also be if we're eating too fast. There are certain ones of us who, when we eat fast, when we eat a meal fast, you actually don't get taste and pleasure and aroma and satisfaction. Mm-hmm. And those are often, for human beings, a requirement. So you might have heard me talk about cephalic phase digestive response. Mm-hmm. Cephalic means of the head. The cephalic phase digestive response is simply how taste, pleasure, aroma, and satisfaction, and just looking at the food, literally helps regulate our digestion. It helps regulate our appetite. And it actually helps regulate how you digest and assimilate and even calorie burn that meal. So if we eat a meal and we don't get taste, pleasure, aroma, satisfaction, etc., the head brain, the brain in your head is thinking, okay, wait a second. I know I just ate. I know I just had a meal. But there's another part of you, your belly is also probably saying, I feel some food in here. I must be full. But then there's another part of the head that's going, I don't remember taste. I know I ate, but I didn't get anything. So ultimately what happens is the part of us that is craving the eating experience doesn't get satisfied. And when that doesn't get satisfied, hunger is signaled.
Gotcha.
So you could eat a huge meal, but if you don't taste it, even though you know you ate a huge meal and your belly's telling you you ate a big meal, we didn't get the sensations that we're looking for. So there's a place, I think, that if you start to, it's not only about eating slow, it's about you getting something from the eating experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
You getting satisfied, because we're human and you want to feel good about a meal. You want to feel pleasure from it. You want to be able to eat something and go, that felt good. But if I'm constantly worrying about, oh my God, this might make me feel bad because I have irritable bowel syndrome, or this might make me gain weight, or I might be eating too much, or whatever. If those are the thoughts that are going through my mind, then I'm not going to experience the sensations of the meal, which will then deregulate my appetite.
Yep.
So I'm not saying you shouldn't eat a number of meals during the day. I'm saying I think there might be a part of you that a chunk of your hunger is being driven by your lack of eating experience.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And again, it's going to drive you to eat more.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a driven feeling to eat after 2 hours, that can often be the case.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's good to know. I'll build that into practice as well.
Do you have any other caffeine during the day other than your first cup in the morning?
I'll always have another one at about an hour later.
An hour later?
Yeah.
Okay. So here would be an interesting experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, so you would have a cup of coffee, then a cup of coffee, then your breakfast.
Yeah. Oh, probably. Yeah.
Okay. So if this was reality TV and I can win $10 million for helping you lose weight and get where you want to go, I would try a bunch of different things other than the things I just mentioned to you.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a year, one of the experiments that I would do is I would rearrange your caffeine and I would rearrange your morning.
Mm-hmm.
Why? A number of reasons. Number one, just to do something different.
Yep.
Because if a human being tells me, I'm trying to lose weight, here's what I do. I've tried all these other things, nothing works, but here's what I do regularly. I think, okay, well, what you're doing regularly doesn't work. Let's mix it up. Let's try something different. So sometimes you just got to rearrange the furniture a little bit. So I got no problem with coffee, no problem with caffeine. I drink it. I love it. It's great. And it's also a very powerful substance. For some people, it can be more powerful than others. For some people, caffeine is very powerful and it very much influences the body in different ways. Mm-hmm. So what I'm hearing is that the first thing that happens in the morning at 6 o'clock, which is a sensitive time for the human body, you're just waking up. Mm-hmm. Alertness hormones are coming into play. Of course, it makes sense to drink coffee in the morning because it's giving you a chemical high. And the fact that you drink a second cup, what's happening is you're not having breakfast till what time again?
Around about 8.
8, okay. So for at least the first 2 hours of your morning, you're being powered by caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not being powered by food. So you're basically milking energy from your cells via caffeine. Mm-hmm. It creates a little bit of a false metabolism, like, hey, I'm here, I'm up. It's great. But you didn't get that energy from eat food, burn calories, get energy. Mm-hmm. So, and plus, oftentimes the way we begin something has an effect on how things carry through.
Mm-hmm.
So beginnings often inform middles and endings, so to speak.
Yep.
So it would be interesting if I would love to see you do like green tea or black tea in the morning and do that for, I don't know, just experiment for a month.
Mm-hmm.
I would even love to see you start the morning just by drinking something that might even be a little bit more detoxing, like water and lemon juice, just to get some liquid in your body first thing. Because what you're doing is you're revving up your body first thing with coffee. I've already learned about you. Since you have IBS, that means to me you have a sensitive body.
Mm-hmm.
So we're setting up your body with a very powerful chemical in the morning twice. It's a powerful stimulant. It's got powerful bitter chemicals in it, which are useful. First thing in the morning for you, I don't know how useful it is, other than to give you the energy and to like get you going.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I want to say it's not about right or wrong. I just want you to hear this. Not about right or wrong. I am all about nutritional experimentation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try this and see what happens.
I have given up coffee for a month before, and it actually has done wonders for me. So
Oh, okay. I should have asked that.
it's
What
just a matter of
happened?
trying to give up again.
What happened? That was wonderful for you.
Yeah, it was good in the sense I had more. I got over that first week, I had more energy, felt better. Yeah, it was good. So I just have to get back to it. It's just giving up coffee again. That's all.
Yes. Okay. So that's an interesting experiment then for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can do it again. I just need to give it up.
Yeah. It's a great habit. It's a fun habit. It's legal. It's easy. It's readily available. And again, it's not like it's a bad food. It's all about what kind of impact would I like my body to have relative to what I'm ingesting.
Yep.
That's how I look at it. What kind of impact do I want from the food I'm eating? I want the food I'm eating to help me feel good. I want the food I'm eating to give me energy, quite honestly. Mm-hmm. I want the food I'm eating to digest well. And I don't want the food I'm eating to give me a negative side effect that I definitely don't want. So coffee is arguably, coffee and sugar are the two trickiest food substances because they're sort of halfway between a drug and a food. Mm-hmm. They're powerful. They have a powerful effect on the body. So yeah, I would love to see you play around with that because that can have an impact on irritable bowel potentially. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it can also have an impact on weight loss. Strangely enough, I've had people who I've taken off of caffeine and that alone will help them lose weight. And it doesn't work for everybody, but it's just caffeine can, for many people, mimic the stress response. You have enough caffeine in your system, it raises your blood pressure, mm-hmm. It raises your heart rate, mm-hmm. It raises your cortisol level and it'll raise your insulin levels. Those are all hallmarks of the stress response. Mm-hmm. So caffeine literally mimics the stress response. Mm-hmm. So, and again, not so bad unless we discover after stop using it that, oh, I feel better, or, oh, this has an impact on me. So I would love to see what would happen if you went off of it. Mm-hmm. If you started slowing down with food, relaxing when you eat, and notice the impact. And also the other thing that we talked about was let go of fixing your body mm-hmm. and letting your digestion just be a teacher for you.
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
So what are your thoughts so far about this conversation? What's sort of standing out for you?
I'd love everything that you've suggested, and I've been wanting to give up coffee for a while, and my husband's actually on green tea at the moment because he had some bad vertigo last week, so he's now removed coffee from his diet, and it's almost like it's the universe trying to give me a sign. Mm-hmm. You need to do the same. But so that should be fine. I'll start it on the weekend so that way I can handle the headaches and stuff. And that being more aware before I eat and really tasting everything and being slow and chewing every mouthful and learning from my digestion, letting it be the teacher, I think that is a big one as well. So, and breathing before eating as well.
Yeah, food is always teaching us, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. The body's always teaching us. And sometimes the body is teaching us, eat this, don't eat that, right? Yep. Literally, that's what it's saying to us. Mm-hmm. But oftentimes it's teaching us so much more about ourselves, about life, about, learning to accept, okay, this is what I'm given right now. This is how my body's talking to me. And I think part of, oftentimes we want to change the body. Mm-hmm. I want less fat. I want more muscle. I want more fitness. We want to change our body, which is totally cool. It's a great thing to be able to do. But if we're constantly trying to assert our will on the body without letting the body speak back to us and tell us what it has to say, then there's not really a two-way conversation, and we aren't setting ourselves up for the success that we actually wish to have. Mm-hmm. Because I'm telling the body, here's what I want you to do. I want you to stop having IBS. I want you to lose weight. I want you to have more muscle. I want you to do all these things. Mm-hmm. And I'm not listening to you. I'm exaggerating, but it's your path is learning in part how to be more and more exquisite about how you're listening to your body, because you're already doing it. You're already paying attention and you're already learning from it. So it's not like you haven't been doing this, but it's literally, oh, wow, I have to go even further in how I'm letting my body speak to me and teach me.
Mm-hmm. Definitely agree with that.
Well, Michelle, I think this has been a good conversation. I hope it was helpful for you.
Oh, definitely. Thank you so much. This has been great. I'm getting a lot from it.
Yes, I've learned a lot too. It's been a pleasure speaking with you and meeting you. It really has been.
Yeah, and you too, Mark. Very nice.
And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Lots more to come, my friends. Take care.
Hey friends, we're so happy that you've joined us for another episode of The Psychology of Eating with Marc David. Are you loving these episodes? Then simply subscribe and you'll never miss an episode again. We'd also love it if you'd leave us a comment below so we can hear more about your own journey with food and body. And if you're curious about what we offer at the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, including our internationally acclaimed coach certification training that's rooted in dynamic eating psychology and mind-body nutrition, please head on over to our website, psychologyofeating.com. Until next time, take care. And remember, having the body you want starts with loving the body you have.